good morning, and
Good
good
morning.
afternoon.
Yeah. Oh, wow. It's morning there and afternoon here. What a beautiful time we live in.
I know. How's your morning, dude?
Dude, so far, so good. Busy, but honestly, I kind of like that. Like I
Hmm.
like I like busy morning. It makes me feel like I'm doing a lot
I don't know.
with my life.
I'd rather be busy in the morning than busy in the afternoon because
Yes.
I need some good balance. Like I'd rather get like all the shit out of the way, including the shit out of
Yeah.
my system
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in the morning.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, this week, the past 2 weeks, I've been just so busy with work because we have like deadlines to meet. I've been coding a bunch in like meetings. And like I was like, man, I'm like really busy. But I was like, that's good. Like I'd rather be
Yeah, yeah.
busy and like have a job than like, I gotta be just,
Doing nothing.
yeah, yeah. I can't like let like um like the negativity like gets me like after work.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing my dad taught me, and he's like really good at it. Like no matter how stressed or like how bad, what like not, you're not always gonna have like bad or stressful days at work, but no matter how stressed you are or like how like negative you feel like in the inside like after work, don't bring that home. Like
Yeah, and that's tough, dude. That's
it
like a tough
is.
thing to do because you're just in that headspace for 8 hours at least.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then like it's so hard to just switch it off. But yeah, dude, good
Hmm.
on your dad for being able to do that.
I
So
know.
that's
When I'm around friends now, or when I'm around like family, even if I'm like feeling like stressed out or just like exhausted, um, or irritated, I'll still keep up like that face. Like just
mm,
like neutral, maybe like a smirk or something. But if I'm out in public and I'm on a mission, like
yeah,
fucking,
yeah.
I'm doing chores, um, or I'm in the mall, and I just do not want the minimal like human connection I want is just like at the cashier, and that's it. Like don't fuck with me. Like do
No,
not bother me. I'm in my
don't
mood.
even look at me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, no, no. I contradicted myself. Yesterday, I was at the mall. Well, 2 days ago on Thursday, and I was just like talking to like the retail workers, and like
Having a good time.
I was like asking them for their advice. I was like, but then the next day when I had to return something and I was in a rush, that's when I go and like, don't fucking talk to me unless
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
the
you're in the
cashier.
zone. You know
Yeah.
what? You know what? Actually, a little life hack that I think is, I
Hmm.
think you'll enjoy it. Is I'll put on a mask. Like even if it's like a very open like a place where you like don't need a mask, I'll put on a mask.
Yeah.
Put put my headphones in, put on like I won't do noise canceling because I don't like to do noise canceling in public.
Oh yeah, yeah.
'Cause it like
Dangerous, dude.
freaks me. Yeah, like anything could be happening around me. But I will still like have it on like I have like the active listening thing on my headphones, like where you can kind of hear.
Transparency.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'll still put the music like loud enough so that it's like
Hmm.
I'm in the zone.
Yeah.
And then I'll put my mask on and I'll put a movie score on. And it feels like I'm on a fucking
Ooh.
mission, dude. Like I'm literally like on a mission and I'm like bobbing and weaving through the aisles of Target
uh,
like a man
Blade
possessed.
Runner or something.
Yeah,
But
yeah. A personal favorite Winter Soldier theme. Put that thing on, dude. I feel like I could run through a wall.
and when you're like taking your break at the cafe or something, like reading a book or just sitting around, people watching. I don't know. I like Star Wars Episode 2, like anything from
Oh.
Across the Stars.
Dude, Across the Stars is one of my favorite songs ever. Like say what you want about episode 2, but the score for episode 2 is elite. Across the Stars and then the one where I don't know the name. I forgot. When Anakin finds his mother and he like he gets pissed and slaughters the Raiders and like there's a little like it's at like 8 minutes because I've listened to it a lot and
Mhm.
there's like a you can tell when it happens just by listening to the song. That's a
Yeah.
crazy like get stuff done kind of beat. But then Across the Stars is like I'm sitting out in the meadow, like just reading Eat, Pray, Love.
Mhm. I actually used to always like, especially during studying your finals or just like being head down and like studying for an exam or something, or programming. I remember I back in college, dude. I would just like find a empty room, like
Mm,
in one of the buildings, because like no one like like all the like a lot of buildings were just like empty. And I used to have like my spots, but I would just
Yeah.
like do find a room, you know, grab dunks or coffee, have like the whole whiteboard to myself, and then just play like lo-fi Star Wars and repeat or the
Yes.
soundtrack, and that was just oh man,
Yes, dude. Finding one of those hidden little rooms that nobody knows about
yeah,
is like so elite. It's like your little secret on that big campus. Like, well, now I can say it because we're not there anymore and no one will steal it. But Amir and I used to have in the business building, business center. What was the
mm,
name of that building?
business, just business building, me and
Yeah,
business
business.
building.
Um, we would have like, wait, am I thinking of the right building? The one by the science center. What's that one called?
Oh, I totally forgot about that one. The fucking
Like where poli sci kind of was. Like,
yeah, what the fuck was that building called?
not the business building. I cannot think of the name. But whatever that building was, we
Yeah,
would that like building. I feel like no one was ever in it doing like work, like
yeah, that's where I
working.
would study also.
Yeah, and we found like this weird like council, like a
Yeah. Oh,
Jedi
I was there
council
with you.
chamber. Yeah, you went there. Yeah. And it was so like discreet. No one was ever in there. We would grind work in there. Yeah, I was a big
Yeah.
fan of
I
that thing.
remember I think all three of us were in there. We opened the
Yeah,
window,
yeah,
and
we did.
you could
Yeah,
go to the roof. I was like, oh, I remember the building name in Stonehill, Martin Institute.
thank you. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that was
that
such a
that
cool
building
building.
underrated.
The thing is, dude, I would pick that like during the winter or fall, but during spring or near like the like edge of summer, I would pick buildings with AC,
Oh yeah, 100%,
dude,
dude.
because oh, I hate that was like one of my pet peeves, dude. Like going into class and I'm all fucking sweaty, and like I'm like out of breath because I used to always penny board to class or
Yeah,
just
yeah.
or regardless, you walk across campus for class. But dude, pet peeve, buildings with no AC, and you're just sweating fucking
Yeah.
swamp in there, dude.
And then I can't focus on my work.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
focusing on me, and people are like looking at me because I'm fucking sweaty as shit.
yeah, yeah. And you're like breathing heavy. Dude,
Hmm.
I'm like I lose track of time so quickly. So there's so many instances where I would like have to run to class,
Hmm.
and then I'm just so, like drenched and like you come in, everyone like looks at you, and you're like, oh, this is the worst thing.
I think one of my worst experiences. No, not worse because I got through it, but dude, I had like fucking. This segued into like our cafe drinks, but I had like a large iced coffee on my way to Calculus 2.
Oh no, you made a horrible mistake.
Calculus 2, like just like you know, just like penny boarding, dude, and like people were all on the way to class. It was like almost like 1 p.m. That it was in like the what did you call the fucking field in the Stonehill? The
Quad,
grass?
the quad.
Oh yeah, the quad, like the middle quad. I took a turn into like the path to the building I was going to, but dude, I ate shit. Like my penny board
Oh
went
no, dude.
flying, my dunks, dude. I fell and I had scrapes. I have scars still on my elbows, but I had like scrapes like all over. I was like bleeding. I had holes in my long sleeve
Right.
shirt. My dunks still survived. Like nothing happened to it.
Respect. Yeah.
And like I think our friend like Nick Ramirez, I think I remember
Oh
distinctly.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
because
Shout out to Nick.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was a math major, so he was also in like our computer science classes. But he was, "You good, dude?" I was like, I'm good, I'm
Yeah,
good."
dude, and you're like bleeding out, like
Dude,
crying a little bit, like
I walked into calculus like 5 minutes before. I saw my teacher. I forgot his name. He was like one of my favorite teachers ever because I got like an A plus in Calc 1 and Calc 2, and he was like the most amazing professor. I forgot his name. Fuck.
what do you look
But
like?
he had an accent, like a European accent. Fuck.
Oh,
Heiko.
yeah, yeah.
Heiko.
Heiko.
Yeah, yeah. He was awesome.
Dude, Heiko was such a cool guy. I fucking like almost failed his class twice. I had to like withdraw both times. I think
Uh,
I was his like style of teaching and my style of learning could not be more separate. Such a cool guy though. I
oh
love
yeah,
Heiko.
yeah. He's very respectable, but he's really nice. He's actually the one who wrote my recommendation for peer mentor. I asked him.
Oh, okay,
Um,
Heiko.
but yeah, I walked in, dude, like bleeding, sweating. Walked in. Then I looked up to him. I was like, "Do you have band-aids?" He's like, he actually wanted to check.
Oh, what a king, dude.
And he didn't have any band-aids, dude. So I was like fucking like just like shaking, dude, in pain. The whole class, dude, just like writing my notes, just bleeding out.
It's like- dude, I I think that if I would have tried penny boarding more often, I would have eaten shit once a week, which
Yeah.
is why I didn't do it.
I think it got me like it like gave me some like thick skin, literally thick skin, because like the
Yeah.
fucking like scar tissue I have in like my. But like yeah, like I've eaten shit like a couple times in front of people, and I kind of just like what it hurt, but I walked up and like it's not that bad. Like
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead along with my day, and who gives a fuck?
I think, dude, there's such like a like how do you recover? Like when you recover from it, I feel like everybody like for I think everybody does it differently. For me, like if I eat shit, I feel like I like get up and like I feel like you have to like get up like confidently and just like keep going, like walk like nothing happened.
Yeah.
And then some people are just like kind of like build into their like the joke and kind of make fun of themselves. I feel like there's like an art to it, like just
I
recovering
know.
after you
Yeah.
absolutely eat it.
Wyatt, he's a lot better like penny boarder than me. But dude, he'll just like try the craziest shit like tricks on the penny board, and he does not care what anybody thinks, and he just like falls and whatever. He just gets up, just does not care. Like
I love that, dude.
yeah. What I look up to like Wyatt a lot. Wyatt, for listening, fucking love you, dude. Can't wait to see you
Why?
soon in Costa Rica in like a month, dude. Or if you visit me in Phoenix, or if I visit LA. But yeah, dude, he's like really good at just like not caring what like people think.
That's such an
To like
important
a good
quality.
extent.
No, yeah,
He's
in a healthy, confident way. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, of course he's like one of like the most like very respectable and compassionate people I know, but like he just does not care like what people like think to that extent. Like yeah,
yeah.
he
I
just
think
brushes it off like really
I
quick.
think why it's probably one of like the like if I think of like cool people I know, like just like someone who I'm like that person is just like almost to me like universally cool. Like you introduce like a friend like from home to them and they're like, wow, that Wyatt kid was so cool. That's
Yeah,
Wyatt to me. Like he has this like air of like confidence and like just like he knows who he is
yeah,
and like he just goes through life and is like, yeah, I'm fucking Wyatt. Like and
yeah.
what about it?
I hope like y'all listening you probably have a friend like that, like
You have a
like
Wyatt in your yeah. You have a
yeah,
Wyatt in your life, and if you don't, you need one.
yeah. I give him a lot
Or
of
be the
respect though.
Wyatt.
Yeah, be the Wyatt. But I give him a lot of respect because he moved to LA like by himself. Like on a not on a whim, but he got a job out there. Switched jobs like in late 2021 winter, and like he's all settled over there now. He's been like over a year, and like
Yeah,
I visited him like 3 times last year. But yeah, he just made like a bunch of friends, and he's very social and just he's just yeah a compassionate dude. Like I couldn't imagine myself doing that. Like I guess this is a good topic for this video,
yeah.
but like yeah, like just like making friends in a new. I guess making friends now. Like I have a question for you.
Hit me.
How many friends is like
Too many.
too many and enough? Because I'm at this point, dude, where I think I have enough close friends, trustworthy friends, that I invest my time and energy to emotionally, physically, mentally, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like I'm good. Like I got you
You have
in
a
East
solid group.
Coast, you in New Jersey, a bunch of our college friends in Massachusetts, and like I'm still fucking close to them. Like game with them, text them all the
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
and then I've had this group in the AZ. They're all I always would mention this, but they're all abroad or on mission trips, like out of state now, which sucks. So, like now, like all my
yeah,
close
yeah.
friends are not here now, dude.
Yeah.
Like I'm in like a not predicament, but like I feel like I'm holding myself something like in my head every time like I have the chance to like talk to new friends,
Mhm.
like hang out with them. There's something in the back of my head saying like no, like you have enough friends, like
That's
don't make any more
interesting.
friends. Even though it would be good for me to make more friends around the area, but I feel like I don't. There's something inside me saying like I don't want to. Like
Like it's like oh, like you think like maybe it's like a subconsciously like you don't like you think it's gonna be too much energy kind of expelled to like
yeah, I'm afraid
keep
that
your friends and like
I'm afraid if I make like newer friends, um, like more than acquaintances, just acquaintances, I feel like
Mm,
it'll take energy out of and time out of like the close friends I already have, and it's already hard with the distance
yeah.
to keep up with that
That's
friendship.
that's what it is too. It's specifically the distance too, because it adds like it almost double. It probably more than doubles like the effort needed to stay close. And we kind of touched on that like in another episode. But like I think there's like certain. I think I think it depends on like the stage, not like the stage, but like just the where you are like in life. I feel like there's times where like I'm not in the mood to make any new friends. I'm like I feel like there's times where I even like think about like not like cutting people off, but like almost like the people I'm not that close with, like I'm like I just kind of want to keep my friend circle like very small, just to like those people that I'm in constant contact with.
Hmm.
And then there are other times where I'm feeling like I really want to branch out and just meet a bunch of people. And I
Hmm.
feel like it kind of ebbs and flows. I feel like you're like in the like I don't have that mental energy to like go out and make new friends and then maintain those friendships and then continue to maintain the ones that I have already.
Hmm.
It's an interesting balance, I think.
Yeah, it's
I
but
also think like yeah, how
like,
like what's too many friends? Like you're to go back to your original question, like I think it's like I think you kind of touched on it. I think you can have unlimited acquaintances.
mhm.
Like just a bunch of people that like you guys like have never had like a deep conversation. Like you know them, you say hi, hello, surface level small talk. And then I think like there comes a point in your relationship with an acquaintance when like you have the option to like maybe level it up to like a friendship.
Yeah,
But like I feel like you know when that point comes and like it's like a
yeah.
concrete decision and
It
it's like a
hold
big decision.
it holds me back now, like
Yeah.
because I'm like, I'm at my tipping point. Like I haven't like FaceTimed. Janelle, if you're listening, I'm gonna FaceTime you soon. It's been so long. I was promised. Janelle's like one of my close like she's almost like family, and she's back in Massachusetts, and like we like grew up together. Known her since like first or second grade, but yeah, like I haven't FaceTimed her in a while. But yeah, like making new friends. Like I haven't like
Yeah.
FaceTimed a bunch of other people that I need to keep not need to, I choose to keep close to. Um so it's fucking hard. Like
It is hard, dude. It's like yeah, it is hard. It also like is a level of like trust kind of. Like for I mean I guess it depends on the person, but I think like for both of us, I think like having like a friend like very much entails like I'm very comfortable with this person, like
mhm,
I have a certain level of like trust with this person, or, like I would tell them certain things and like if they told me certain things, like that's like a locked vault. You know what I mean? Like and like I don't it's hard to figure out people you want to keep as just like acquaintances and like if you're like oh dude like I let this person in kind of like
yeah.
to my life basically because like once like your friend like once you someone becomes a friend like kind of it's like a Patreon dude they like get access to like your other friends maybe like you like start to introduce
Mhm,
and mingle and like mix and match and then like maybe your family and like you talk about like more kind of like intimate stuff like personal stuff so
mhm.
yeah I don't know dude it's tough I have a lot of people that I haven't reached out to in a bit that I really should and I keep either forgetting or like something in life gets in the way.
Mhm. And dude, this year has flown by so fast. I don't know how many times I've said that, but I'm gonna just keep saying it. It's like almost end of March, and it has me kind of like stressing out. I looked into like my journal because I have a journal that I
Mm.
just write in my thoughts. But yeah, last log I put in was October, late October, and I think it's
Damn.
because of the holidays and like because like November, December, I was with like family and like friends like traveling
Yeah.
a bunch and just like and then the past few months I just been head down on work. So like fuck. I'm gonna get better at journaling like I don't know, like at least like once a week just to keep my thoughts not in check, but just like document like my thoughts. Cause it's cool like reflecting.
Dude, it's so nice to look back. Also, like, I think it's very healthy, like, at the end of the day or the end of the week or whatever, just to, like, put down a summary of like your thoughts, your experiences, and like I think it's like I think it almost helps for me at least. It helps me like um kind of like articulate them more. Like it helps me like come to terms with a lot of thoughts that are just like in the moment just flying around in my head. And then like once I like either talk to someone or like write them down, they become like like I understand them more almost.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if this happens to you, but what's hard for keeping up like that habit of writing is sometimes I'm afraid to like not afraid. I'm just like it's just stress. The thought of writing stuff down from my like my brain, even like if I'm overwhelmed,
Mhm.
it stresses me out even more because I was like, what if I can't write everything I want to down,
Oh
and
yeah.
like what if I so like that stresses me out, but like after the fact, like I wrote like I did like a journal entry like last night, and that helped me out a bunch. Like I was like, oh fuck yeah, yeah, I'm good. I wrote
Yeah.
like 2.5 pages, and just like like splurging out thoughts, and I was like, I feel better.
Yeah, I think that happens to me. Like the same thing happens to me, but with talking about stuff. Like usually, if I'm like in a big rut and I'm like super overwhelmed, I my tendency is to just kind of retreat into myself and like be like, all right, I'm gonna figure this all out on my own. Like maybe I need to like cut, like not cut people off, but maybe I need to like just go kind of zero dark 30, like fully just be in my room by myself, like figuring it all out. And then usually that makes it worse.
Hmm.
Like I just get more stuff to be overwhelmed. But then once I like talk to someone,
Sorry, dude.
I saw you start to giggle and I was holding it in, dude. I was like trying not to break.
Sorry, dude. No. I'm listening, but like the only thing while you're talking is like this coming to my end when you is Cam from Modern Family just screaming to the top of his lungs, dude.
I saw something. I saw like halfway through that, I saw something just. I saw something enter your mind. Like I could literally see it. I could see the thought jump in there, and I was like, "Oh no, Jerry's gonna lose it in about 3 seconds."
Cam from Modern Family. Okay,
I'm
sorry I
putting that.
interrupted.
No, you're good, dude. I'm putting that in the edit. I just wanted to let everybody know.
Okay.
No, but I feel like when I talk, like if I like whenever we have like our like catch up sessions, like off Chai Guys, or like I'll talk to some like one of my friends from home or something, like it'll like it'll like fully I get like it everything's so much more simple in my head. And like everything was just so overblown because it was just floating around in your mind. And then once you like get it out, it almost seems like so much easier. Kind of like the person is kind of not like sharing the burden, but like a little bit because somebody else knows about it. And then you're like, oh, like, all right, like now that I got that out, like it kind of seems more manageable. I feel like that always happens to me.
Yeah, I think it helps because when you're not forced to, but when you choose to articulate it to a like output it from your brain to a journal or to somebody else, you have to get the ducks in line in your mind.
Yeah, yes,
It's like
yes.
it'll naturally just like make you focus more and be like, this is what I'm actually thinking. I'm not going in like circles,
Exactly.
thought spirals.
Yeah, dude,
Like you
exactly.
mentioned a couple like like a couple episodes back. But yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I need to start to journal more, dude. I used to journal a bunch, and I think I need to do that more.
I have a bad habit of just like if I go to Barnes and Noble or Target, just like buying like new journals or notebooks, because like
Dude,
ooh,
I
this looks cool. But I've been pretty good about it recently. Like I had like two journals, but I have this one journal that I have like half full. It's like tiny.
mm,
Yeah.
is it
So
like this big?
yeah. It's like a
I have one of those.
little pocket journal. So yeah, and it's just so cool flipping back. Dude, I love just like going back and looking at all like my handwritten entries
Yeah.
because I'm like, that's cool. Like, oh, it's a bit messy, but it looks like raw.
Yeah, dude. It's raw. I like to
Yeah.
I need to I have a journal that's empty that I dude I when I went to Italy,
Hmm.
I was like, "Oh, I should get like something like I should get like one souvenir that like I was like this is I got this there like cuz who knows if I'll ever go to Italy again." But I got a journal, like a little like leather journal, and
Hmm.
dude, I haven't touched it. I also bought like like a quill. Why?
Oh
Because
fuck! Oh
fucking because
shit!
I'm
I just
fancy.
that's sick, dude. Damn.
And like ink, and
Yeah.
dude, it's like it's sick. It's like ink that there's like I'm gonna write you letters actually because I need to use this. Like it's like wax, and you have to melt it, and then you have
Oh
a there's a
fuck.
stamp. I have a stamp that has like a I don't know if it has a P or an M, for either my first or last initial, but it has one of those, and like you stamp the letter, dude. I need to use it. It's I haven't touched it. I always look at it and I'm like, I should write more,
Yeah, dude, fan mail. We should do fan mail.
dude. Yeah,
But the
we
thing is,
write
I know
ourselves.
I've heard like horror stories of like like fans just sending like a potato and it's like rotten,
Dude,
and
amazing. Oh,
like rotten shit like that. But I don't know.
Jesus,
Dude, I've never yeah, dude, sending like handwritten letters. That's like
dude.
cool.
Yeah. Did you ever have a pen pal in school? Did they make you do that?
Oh fuck yeah, for French class. We
Yes, yes. Well, mine wasn't French class, but it was with French students. I was gonna say just like random French people, but it was like language arts class. It
yeah.
was something. I don't know. It was well, like in elementary school, you have like one teacher and they teach you the whole thing. Like you don't go from class. I don't know if it was different for you.
Yeah,
They
they're a
like
connoisseur of all the
yeah, yeah. They
subjects.
they know their shit. All right. Shout out to Mrs. The goat.
Mrs. Moore and Mrs. Littlefield.
Dude, yeah. Dude, we could get on a tangent of good teachers, but like my run from kindergarten. Well, kindergarten I don't remember honestly. Mrs. Rayfield, I just have that name in my mind, and the only thing I remember from kindergarten is like the friends I had in that class, and that one time I took a go-gurt, and and I like stupid, and and I like just squeezed as hard as I possibly could. I like thought it was gonna be. I don't know what I thought was gonna happen, and just fucking squeezed on the windows, like pink strawberry go all over the classroom. And
Dude,
it was not good.
your intrusive thoughts took over, dude.
Dude. I was just like, what if happens if I just fucking squeeze this? I mean,
Was
that's
this
all I
first
remember.
grade?
Kindergarten. Um, and one of my friends told me because the way that I like school was, one of my friends told me that they saw it happen on the window from their classroom. Like, they just saw like pink shit, which is so funny to me.
It's like a comic book, dude. Just like switching panels.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, I wonder what happened in there." But anyway, shout out to Mrs. Kosh in first grade, Miss Bonchak second grade, Mrs. O fourth grade, and after that, it got a little rough for me, and I'm not gonna name names because
Oh,
this is a positivity channel only.
um, kindergarten, dude. In my kindergarten, Wyndham, Maine. I had kindergarten in Wyndham, Maine. Oh man, brings back memories.
Dude, good
Um,
time.
I had like three teachers in kindergarten. I think Mrs. Farron. No, Mrs. Fuck, I'm forgetting. Mrs. Anyway, well, kindergarten, dude, I was so like I was like a new student because I just moved. Um, like I always like moved like when I was like a small kid.
Yeah.
But I was too afraid for some reason to call the teacher by her name, so I called her teacher. And then like 2 weeks into the class, my teacher had like what do you call it? Like morning meetings. Like she said
Yeah.
announcements. She was like, okay, first rule, don't call me teacher. Call me Mrs. whatever her name was. And she said that to the whole class. I was like, that's definitely directed to me. Like
Directly
that's
towards
fucking
Jerry.
embarrassing. Like, because who else calls you teacher?
Dude,
Oh man.
oh man, what was I gonna say? Oh, I blanked out actually. Um, oh, I was watching. I like my Christmas gift to my mom this year was she has like a bunch of like old home movies,
Mhm.
and she was like, "Can you?" Like, I basically just I sent them somewhere. They restored the movies, and like we have them on USB, and we were watching them, dude. And I was so out. I thought I was like shy because I was really shy in elementary school, but like up until like kindergarten-ish, I was so outgoing, and I was like so almost in shock of like how much your personality like changes when you're a kid, like just from kind of from year to year, almost like just
Yeah.
I just assumed because I remember being shy and like from like as early as I can remember, which is like basically elementary school, that I was just a shy kid my whole life, like basically up almost through high school. but like like there was like videos of me like on vacation like just running around like dancing, and I was like, what could have happened? And like I wonder if it's like in kindergarten, like you get like in your own head and like you're surrounded by other kids for the first time, and you're like almost like it's kind of sink or swim, kind of like some kids like become those really outgoing kids that you see that like everybody's had in their classes, and then some kids kind of just like retreat into their shell because they get kind of like nervous or socially awkward. I just thought that was interesting, an interesting tidbit.
No, that is still interesting.
I
I'm
was
gonna
like,
hop
wow,
off
like
that. I think about the same thing too. I think it's because um, I think like one lesson in life that we should all try to learn as early as possible is like, well, we already talked about this, like not caring what people think, and
yeah,
not like not pursue like not I guess internally pursuing the expectations others have upon you, because like in school people were like, oh, he's a class clown, he's the athlete, he's a quiet kid. I
yeah,
think that's what kind of shapes us. Like, dude, like I was the
yeah,
same way, first grade to second, third or fourth grade, first grade to third grade, dude, kindergarten to third grade, I was like hyper. I was like I was like I was like I was still like kind of smart. I always had to be taken out of class because those like ESL, English
yeah.
language thing, because um, I was born in the Philippines, and my English needed some work. Not that much work. I was actually good. I was like
Yeah.
I speak fluent English.
Young Jerry was a genius. Let's
This,
not get that twisted.
but my grammar was still pretty like horrendous.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like hyper all the time. Then third and fourth grade, dude, like my dad, especially my mom, like hammered in like, you gotta do like really good. Get those like four.
Yeah.
Like, you know the report cards back then. It was
Fours. Oh my god, dude. Holy shit. You just brought me back.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I used to like get a lot of threes and fours, mostly fours, because I had like high expectations. But like third and fourth grade, I built up this brand, not brand, but like this, like the class like superlative of like
Yeah.
being smart. I'd always like win all like the math games. Like, do you remember the game Around the World?
Oh my god. You are literally throwing all these crazy references at me and bring me back. Yeah, I do remember that,
Where
dude.
like it would be like one v one, the person who gets the answer first, whether it was a multiplication, division,
Mhm.
question, you like you stand up and like move on to the whole class.
Yeah.
Every time you play that, I beat the entire class. Every time you played that,
I
and you every time you get like a stress ball, but it'd be like a different like a dice, a globe, like different shapes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
We had a global.
I had like 20 of those, but like I would always beat everybody. And um I took pride in that. So I became like the smart guy.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that was
that
your label, kind of.
and then that moved into like middle school and high school, where I was like, oh man, like I'm like now known as like the smart guy. You ask for questions, answers, and like kind of awkward. So like I went from like a hyper kid into like more like not geek, but like
Yeah, I know what you mean.
secluded, like introverted, like quiet, awkward kid. Like,
Yeah,
how about
and
you?
I think that yeah, there's like a flip side to that, like the label of like any label really, but like I remember in third grade in our district we took the COGAT test, which was like a IQ aptitude, I guess. I don't really know exactly what it was supposed to be, but it was a lot of like 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 logic puzzles. Like if A means B and B doesn't mean D, then like what is C? And like you had to like whatever. And basically based on that class, they took like 8 kids,
Hmm.
6 to 8 kids, and they like had it was like aces is what it was called, like gifted
Hmm.
and talented.
Oh
And
yeah,
I
yeah, dude, GT. I never
yeah,
got that. I was so jealous. I never got that. But
I
you got,
got that.
yeah.
I got that. Just you know, not the brand, but highest COGAT score, you know, in the school. But I think that's dangerous actually because it's not really measuring how smart you are. There were plenty of kids in the school that either were getting more fours than me or were like I'm smart is such a weird label to me. I don't like it at all, but like I would say we're smarter than me. Like we're no more than me or whatever. I just scored better on this specific test. Like and there was like I guess they took like the 6 or 8 highest scores and
Hmm.
they've all put us and first of all, I just want to say these are the 6 to 8 weirdest kids. Like that class shaped my humor I'm still friends, like best friends with one of the kids, and we like he would just like in class like just be the weirdest boy you've ever imagined, like just running around like farting on things, like just weird, like weird. But it was like I don't know. I feel like you get that gifted and talented label, and now all of a sudden in your like little third grade mind, you have all these people saying how smart you are, and now you have this other expectation that you just put on yourself. Like now it's like if I was getting 3 and 4s before, okay, but now if I get a 3, I'm like stressed about it. Like
Oh
now I'm expecting
yeah.
myself to only get 4s because like how could I not? I'm in the gifted and talented, whatever. And then you go to middle school, and now the playing field's even more leveled, where now you have all the aces kids and like the smart kids from the different elementary schools coming in. Then you go to high school, and then you go to college, and you're basically like everybody, like you're on the same playing field as everybody else. And then because you're being told you're gifted and talented, you not only have these higher expectations of yourself, but you don't like I didn't study at all through high school. I would just get by on like last minute review and whatever because I was a good test taker at the time. And I didn't build any study habits. So then I got to college and my study habits were garbage and now this stuff is harder and I'm like stressed all the time. But I think it's like I just think it's such an unnecessary and like kind of dangerous label to put like gifted and talented or the opposite on elementary school kids.
Mm-hmm.
When like these kids either they might have had a good day taking a test. They like they might be specifically good or bad test takers. Like it's just I don't know. I feel like that very much shapes like kind of what you do because I remember having that label thinking like, "Oh man, I don't need to study." Then getting good grades and then once my grades started to slip, being like, "Oh shit, am I not that smart?" Or like, am I doing something very wrong or like whatever? And then you start to spiral and it just adds a bunch of problems that you don't need.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, it's good balance
Think
of
about that,
just like working hard and like not putting too much stress and expectations. But that is good. I think um I guess if I were to look back, I wouldn't take away those experiences just like that like trying to achieve greatness.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish actually I don't know. It's kind of hard. Like I know like that stress is like too much stress is bad, but like that little bit of stress pushing you to be like
Yeah,
I can do better. That's like good. It makes like good
that's definitely good.
students. Yeah.
I think a little pressure is always good. I think like for me, if I were like if the world started over and like it was on me to design like school, which that would be terrifying, but I think I would just like I think we need to focus a lot on like people need to like understand that school is kind of like a one track kind of thing where like it is a certain way, it always has been a certain way, and like you're expected to learn in a certain way and like do assignments and tests and whatever. I think that there should be a better understanding of that like some people just learn differently than other people.
Hmm.
Like maybe don't measure like this person's smarter than this person and like this is a smart class, this is the dumb class, and just have it be like if someone's not doing well, try to figure out why that is. You know what I mean? Instead of just like throwing them in that class or throwing them in this class and like there's like different ways to learn. Like some people just aren't good test takers, some people aren't great readers, some people aren't great at math. You know what I mean? Like kind of like individualize it a little more. I wish that could be the case.
Yeah. It's really
It's
hard because
impossible. It's impossible, but
yeah,
like
because you need some sort of standard. But
yeah.
if that's but yeah, yeah, it's really hard.
Like I
Yeah.
think honestly, you know what I think I would do? I would just get rid of standardized testing.
Hmm.
I
Oh,
don't think
I
it
hate standardized testing.
I don't think it
It's so
benefits
shit.
anyone, to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like I think it just like it's for I know it's like it's really like a measuring stick for this district, and like to reach a quota, but like if you're not a good test taker, like
Hmm.
you're just gonna be like you're not gonna do well, and it's not a measure of your intelligence. It's just that maybe you don't do well under pressure, maybe you're not a great studier. Standardized
Hmm.
testing needs to go, and I think that the school system would be a better place if it was not in existence.
Hmm. It just stressed me out. And like I remember AP tests especially. You gotta pay for those.
I
20
didn't take
bucks
a
per
single
test.
one.
I I had to, or else my teacher said, if you don't take the
Yeah,
AP test, I'm gonna fail you.
dude,
Like
that's
I'm
stupid.
like, oh my
That's like
god.
dumb. And those are the
Yeah.
teachers, dude, that like very much annoy me because it's like, and a lot of the times it's not their fault. Like a lot of the times it's maybe pressure from the district or higher up that making them do
Yeah.
that. But like I when I think back and look at the best teachers I've had, it's the teachers who like really cared about me learning the material, not getting a good grade on a test,
Hmm.
which are two very different things, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's like a clear like yeah a distinguishment you have to make because like a lot of people like say um like I'm never gonna use these math problems like ever,
Yeah,
but that's like the wrong way to think about it. You're using those in the moment and like you're problem solving like
that's the point. Yeah,
problem solving and like throughout your life you're gonna get new tools in front of you in whatever aspect you're in, whatever domain or industry you're in, and you have to use your problem solving skills you built up to do that. Sure, you're not going to use like Pythagorean theorem like all the time or like I don't know
yeah,
some other formula, but just like the skill of knowing what tools you have and knowing what solution you have to figure out. That's what's the biggest learning thing.
a
Like
100%. It's to teach problem solving. Yeah,
yeah. And I didn't really
that's I
learn that
mean,
until, for especially for comp sci, until I took the class programming languages. Because the whole
mhm.
class, we had to learn like 5 or 6 new programming languages and just like write basic code. I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm not going to use this language, this language. But like halfway through, I was like, oh shit, like this is preparing me for like the industry. Like a job's going to be like, oh, you have to learn this language. We got to build this like website, front end,
Yeah,
back end service, and you just have to like learn it on the go and like make it. You just have to. I have to like know the concepts high level, and like it doesn't matter which language. I can just pick it up and just like work. And I've
exactly.
had to do that. Like I've had to learn like this past year. I've had to learn like a new framework and like a new language, and yeah. And I wouldn't take my experiences. Take away those experiences I had in college, like all the struggles. Like
A
it's really
hundred
important
percent.
for me.
I think the only thing I used to get, I still get frustrated, but like it would really annoy me in college is when professors for like a math or a science class don't give you a formula sheet and you have to like memorize the formulas
Yeah.
and I'll never get it. Like if like that's not even preparing me for the real world. In the real world, if I have to solve a problem, I can look it up. I can look up a formula. It's just an extra level of studying just that's
Yeah.
just memorization to kind of have it in your brain. And I think I get the concept of like if you were in an emergency, I guess, situation, like to just have that like the basic formulas like hammered in your head.
Hmm.
But like I think in a like I don't know, I feel like that makes sense in a bubble, but then if you're like doing it like in a college setting, all it does is add more. Like I remember I would stress about like memorizing these formulas, and it would
Hmm.
just take over like 30% of my brain, and then
I
I would
know.
like stress out against the rest of it.
That's a good point you make. I forgot which ones. I don't know if calculus. I forgot which one. I know for like my discrete math, that was like such a hard class, but I actually did pretty well in those two classes, one and two. But yeah, we were able to have a sheet of just like notes. That
Yeah,
because like yeah, the mental capacity to know what formulas you have available, choose which formula is right, then
yeah,
solve the problem. I feel like it should just be like know what the formulas are already in front of you, choose which one you know to use, and
exactly.
then that's a good point.
Because that's the problem solving.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
it has nothing to do with like if I like memorizing a formula, like anybody can memorize stuff. Like you just need a good system that works for you. It's literally about like I think usually those are the harder exams. Like it doesn't make the exam easier. Like the classes that
hmm
I had formula sheets were just as hard as the other ones where I didn't because they make the problems hard
hmm
and like you have the formulas but you need to know how to use them and then you actually spend your time studying okay, how do I do this type of problem? How do I solve this type of problem? And then like that to me makes sense.
hmm
But yeah, I think usually in my experience, like those are my favorite professors, the ones that focus on like the ones that like tell you straight out like you might not use this like you said, you might not use these two specific programming languages ever in your life, but I'm just teaching you how to solve the problem, like know how to solve basically any problem that gets thrown your way.
hmm
And then everybody's more invested. Everyone's like, "Oh, I get it. Like this makes sense." And it's like kind of an open dialogue communication and I enjoy that.
Yeah, this is why I think everybody should, not everybody, but like you should have like some sort of interest. You should learn how to code because
I agree.
the thing people, especially people who have like no coding experience, because I was a TA for teaching assistant for introduction to programming, Python, a lot of the students, like especially like business students who, actually no, I'm not gonna. Any student who was in comp sci that was in
Mhm.
that class just to take it as an elective, the thing they couldn't wrap their head around was that there was multiple ways to do a
Yes.
coding solution. So if like the coding problem was like, um, I don't know, like build like a simple like vending machine class that can do these certain functions. Like there's so many ways to write that in code. I think people were just so used to be students are just so used to be like, I have to do this exact thing,
Hmm.
this exact code, and that's right. No, you can have like different solutions, and it like I love it because it's technical but creative. You have to like really build it out, and I love that
Yeah.
aspect.
That's actually what I love about coding. That's like, dude, if I could go back, 'cause when I took comp sci one, I remember after my I think my second class of comp sci one, I remember like I was talking on the phone with my parents just about like how school was going, and I was really thinking about switching to comp sci because I was like I just love this. Like I'm having such a good time because like you said, dude, it's the perfect balance to me between scientific and like rigid and creative because you're literally building something from scratch.
Hmm.
So you're creating something from your brain, and there's an infinite amount of ways that you could do it.
Hmm.
And I remember kind of learning that because Kyle, shout out Kyle DaCosta, was also in Comp Sci one, and we were doing the same assignment, but he did it like we would compare after we were done, and he did it a completely different way than I did, and we both got the same thing, and I was like, that's incredibly cool to me,
Hmm.
like that two people can solve the same problem in different ways because that's just how life is. And I would always like get like, have you ever had a teacher who would like you solve a problem and they were like, you didn't use it the way I taught you, and they take points off,
Hmm.
and you're like, but I solved the problem. Like, who gives a shit how I did it? Like,
Yeah.
I figured it out. That would always like when I was younger would really frustrate me. So when I took my first comp sci class and it was just like, oh yeah, you did it, good job, and I was like, oh shit, like that's amazing.
Hmm.
I love that, dude. I'm
Hmm.
such a fan of that. But if I could go back, I would have probably switched to comp sci full time right there, and then hung out with Jerry all day and Wyatt.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a squad, like small class, like 20 students. Um, yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
I miss those days.
what on earth were we talking about before we got into this tangent about teachers?
How like our environment and other students shape how
Mm,
we like how we are as a person in different stages of life, specifically stages in grade school.
yeah, dude. I honestly, I was gonna say, I also think, um, that like I think as like when we're younger, we can almost like a lot of like me included, you can be
Hmm.
like cruel as a kid because you don't understand like social norms and like
Oh
you're
yeah.
just kind of taking you're like also like you're taking what you see on TV, you're taking what like you see out in like the environment and like you're saying things you don't even know like they're necessarily mean, but like kids
Hmm.
can be cruel is basically the point.
Oh yeah.
And like
Yeah.
kids can be like brutally honest, which also comes off as cruel sometimes. Um, and I think like for the more sensitive kids, like I know I was incredibly sensitive as a kid, still am, but like that, like someone would like just not even be trying to be mean and like say something like brutally honest to you or like just cruel, and like that I think made me kind of go into more of my shell.
Hmm.
Like when I was in like first, second grade, and I was kind of like, oh, like maybe I'm not gonna really put myself out there, cause like however you think that in your child brain, but like you're just like, oh, like I don't like feeling like that, so I'm just gonna kind of keep to myself, which is really sad. But like I think that shapes a lot of your personality in like grade school.
Yeah, but I think as a kid, I think the best experience for a kid is just to be around as many other kids as possible because it teaches them how to interact with people socially, and
Yeah, that's how you learn.
it's how you learn. Make mistakes. It's not gonna be a perfect like journey,
Oh no,
kids. Yeah, I'd rather have. Oh man, dude, I don't even want to think about that. Like having a kid and raising them, dude. Like raising a kid, dude. I do not, like, I can't even like have the thought of
dude,
that.
it's honestly terrifying. I even like I feel like I'm doing the beta, which is like having nieces and nephews, where like I
Yeah,
don't have the responsibility of like
yeah.
actually raising them or like taking care of them. But like when you hang, but it's also like it's scary in a way that you can relate. Like when we were kids, like it's almost like you get to a stage where like it's less cool to listen to your parents, and like you listen to like your cool like aunt, uncle, your cool older cousin,
Hmm.
like your cool older sibling. You know what I mean? Like because they're like a little closer in age to you usually, and like you're like oh like and it's like edgy kind of,
Yeah,
but it's like insane how much influence you have
yeah.
on like these really really impressionable young minds, and you're like man I really got to be careful what I do in front of these kids, what I say in front of
Hmm.
these kids, the way I act, like, and it's and like thinking about like that full time and like you're raising a child is so scary. And I really think like you need to be like fully ready and like fully like I want to raise a kid, like be like so ready to do that because it's a really really big like responsibility, and it's like just socially too, like you're really directly responsible for how this person turns out for the most part, like based on how you raise them.
Hmm.
So like it's scary, dude. It's pretty terrifying.
I want to be the fun uncle for a bit and just test the waters.
Oh, it's
And
so fun, dude. There's no response. You just run around and like you just be weird. And, like,
yeah.
there's no consequences. Yeah.
But it brings us full circle to like this like overarching topic, like the point I brought back, like don't bring like all that negativity and stress back at home, because like
Exactly.
if you have a kid and they come home and you're all stressed and like you don't want to play and you don't and you're just like letting you're venting to them, um, and you're not acknowledging it and you're not noticing it, like that's what they grow up with. So I
100%. And
gotta
they're gonna
keep that
yeah,
in mind.
100%, dude. Or like yeah, there's so many things like if you're having an argument like with your significant other, like
Hmm.
don't make you got to make sure that you don't do that anywhere near the kids because they're gonna hear it and they don't know what it means, like, and they're gonna repeat something that they said like at school,
Hmm.
and it's gonna be like the like just such a bigger deal, like it's gonna be something that no kids shouldn't be hearing, and then not only did your kid hear it but now they're saying it to a bunch of other kids,
Yeah.
and like stuff like that, like you definitely you have to you have to be the best that like you just have to be the best version of yourself around your kids or your nieces or your nephews or your little cousins or whoever,
Hmm.
and just like because you like that's it's shaping them so much more than like you think almost, like, or like that you realize in the moment,
Because they're like
and
sponges.
like
So
they're really like sponges, and like you gotta like really just like be like you're on your A game.
mhm.
And also their kids are a lot smarter than people think, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
like you should that your way you treat kids should also reflect that, like you should like not don't talk to them like they're adults, but like you don't have to talk to them like they're babies, like always, like you gotta like find a nice middle ground
Hmm.
and be like yeah, like talk to these just little humans. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like chutney?
Like mango chutney? I've actually never
Yes.
had. Oh, maybe I have had it,
Yeah.
and I think that I had liked it, but I don't remember enough to like make a concrete stance right
Yeah.
here, right now.
Same here. I have no idea what chutney is.
Oh,
I have
just
no
from
idea
New
what it
Girl?
looks like. I just, I
Yeah.
yeah. I only mentioned it because Schmidt from New Girl mentioned it when telling Cece what he likes about the Indian
Like
culture.
mango chutney,
Any
any
kind
type of
of
chutney,
chutney, really.
really. Dude, that just shout out to New Girl. Like that show has brought me so much joy in my life that like
Yeah.
I'm forever grateful,
I
dude.
still have to finish it. Like I'm in season like 6. Can you look up a picture of chutney
Yeah.
and on your phone and just show me?
I think yeah, I have a mental image of what it looks like. That's definitely wrong.
Same.
Oh, it's right. I was right. I have had it.
What is it? What is it?
It's like it's like jam kind of.
Oh, chutney. Okay, okay. I don't think I had it, but
I think you
I'm
would
gonna try
like
it.
it, dude. I've had I think oh it could be I've had it in like the yogurt or like curd type of way to make it. There's like 6 ways you can make it. But
Oh,
I've
okay.
also had a spicy kind of chutney, dude. That was like really good. It was like
Spicy
I think it might have
mango?
been I think it was spicy mango, and it was unbelievable.
Fuck, I need to find
I
like an
love
Indian
Indian
place.
food. Also, I love Indian
I
food.
haven't had it in so long. I gotta try that shit.
Dude, whenever you come visit me, I have a place to show you
Yeah.
that you'll love. It's so good.
Fuck.
It's saga.
Yeah. Damn, that we came from our break and I just started talking about chutney. I just like saying it too,
Yeah,
chutney.
chutney.
Well, I like the way Schmidt says it.
I like the way Schmidt says literally everything, dude.
Chutney.
Like he said driving the whole like I think it's after like one of the first 2 or 3 episodes, that whole like montage of like shit that he says that gets put in the douchebag jar. I used to like just look that up on YouTube and just watch it and die laughing.
Yeah. Oh man. New Girl. It's just a feel good show.
It really is, dude.
Yeah. I was thinking of it because every time like I'm thinking I think we like came like full circle like talking about our childhood, like middle school, high school, and like you know, you always have like that TV show where like you're not that same age range, but you're just like behind that you kind of like I don't know, like daydream. Not daydream,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like reflect your life about like, oh, what could be. Not what could be, but like this be cool. Like I can't
Yeah.
wait for those kind of experiences because like New Girl, they're like 25 and up,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so
And like living like yeah, like in an apartment with like a bunch of like friends.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I think also like there's certain shows like that that I because of that like how formative they were, I go back to the age I was and like where I was when I watched them. Like I remember so vividly.
Yeah. It's
And
really
that's like New Girl.
like right now,
Yeah.
like back in when we were in like grade school or middle school, like we were watching like Drake and Josh, like Zoe 101, like high school stuff. So we were like like what do you call it? A few years behind that
Mhm.
age group, but we like always looked forward to those experiences. It's really weird how that
And they
works.
seem so old
Yeah.
when when you're watching Zoe 101 when you're like 8, they seem like they're like fully 30. Right? Like and you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, wow." And then like you get to high school and you're like, "They were this age?" Like I don't feel like I'm that put together.
I think that's probably like whenever I'm on like YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels, like I will just watch like any Friends or Modern Family like short, like because it's just so relatable. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, like even though I'm not that like
Ooh, that's good
I'm not
shit.
like late 30s or 40s. I just find that comedy just so funny and like kind of relatable, you know?
I love yeah, 100% agree.
Yeah.
I love any shit like Seinfeld, dude. I love the short, like watching a Seinfeld short, and I
Same.
was
That's a
like,
show too. Yeah.
I started watching Seinfeld, like liked it, and then I hit I think midway through season 3 maybe, or like kind of towards the beginning, and I think I just was either burnt out from it or I was in the mood, and it kind of like died out for me, and then I started watching it again with some friends like who just turned it on, and I like just hit like we were just binging it, and it was like I love any show that has like a just like a you're just thrown into like 3 people's lives, 4 people's lives, like a New Girl, a Seinfeld, a Friends kind of. I haven't seen Friends, but I know it's in the same vein, and they're just getting into like shenanigans, and like you're just seeing like there's a shenanigan a day almost, and there's
Yeah.
no through line basically. There's no like through line plot necessarily. It's just there's a shenanigan, and like I love seeing like in a group of 5, 2 go over there, 3 go over there, and like they're all doing these side shenanigans. That's my favorite genre of sitcom. I just love seeing that.
The funny thing is, I have not watched Modern Family, Friends, or Seinfeld. Like I've never
Just the
put it
shorts.
just shorts. I've never put it out on Netflix at all. Just the shorts and like yeah, I think the shorts are just enough because like it's like now like even a smaller thing just to like enjoy like throughout your day.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a small chunk of that shenanigans.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Dude, I think that you would love. Well, I can't speak for Friends because I haven't seen it, but I think that you would love Modern Family because Modern Family is very much like Modern Family is very much shenanigans. It's kind of like New Girl, but it's like family New Girl, kind of like instead of it being like just 5, 6 like 25-year-olds who are friends, it's like every shenanigan that happens in like pretty much like uh not extended. What is it like in like a what's a not an extended family? What's the opposite of that?
I'm
I'm
not sure.
losing my mind. Yeah, whatever. Like just kind of like a centralized. It's like three like separate sets of like families who are all like related. So it's like like you're like if your brother has a kid and your sister has a kid, and it's like
Hmm.
that's the group. And then Seinfeld is like 90s and more ridiculous New Girl.
Oh, okay.
And like some of the stuff, dude, like you would really, really enjoy. Like it's
Hmm.
like right up your humor alley with like just like absurd shenanigans that happen.
Nice. It's like I don't like that type of comedy. From the shorts I've seen, just like I don't know, just like very like not blunt. Is it blunt? Not blunt. That's not
Yeah,
that's it.
no, it's pretty. It's like dry, kind of like
Yeah,
dry
I
humor.
love
Yeah,
dry like blunt humor. So yeah.
yeah. I think also, dude, I think Seinfeld really captures like New York City in a way that I haven't seen any other sitcom do.
Hmm.
And that like is so just like New York City is just such a weirdly unique place where like there's so much personality and like absurd like you watch Seinfeld and if you've never like spent an extended amount of time in New York City,
Hmm.
you're like that's ridiculous. And then you go to New York City for like a week and you're like that actually that happens. Like you just random weird stuff happens to you all the time.
Hmm.
But yeah, definitely recommend. Speaking of recommending things,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah.
Let's see. Ooh, I'll share what I've read. I started reading. So, yeah, you and our good friend Jack have really motivated me to like keep reading because whenever we do the podcast or just chat, I know like you were like you were a bookworm, Peter.
Dude,
And
I really
yeah,
was.
and Jack he's always like telling me like, dude, so you've been reading lately? He's like keeping me in check every time we game, which is like once or
Good,
twice a
dude.
week. Jack, for listening, miss you, dude. Can't wait to see you soon this summer. But yeah, he's been reading Game of Thrones. But yeah,
That's
like
sick.
he's like, yeah, dude, just like I read a chapter or two a night, just puts me to bed. Just keep at it. It's a good thing to keep going. Good habit. So I picked up a book recently this week. Been reading every day this week actually. Two
Oh my, that's
books.
beautiful.
This book called Mickey Seven. It's like a space thriller with a hint of romance, dude. This like
Oh,
I was
oh,
like,
dude, don't fucking stroke me like that.
dude,
Literally, that's
so good.
crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's I forgot the author already, but it's like it's in my bedroom. But yeah, I'm only like 10 chapters in. It's really good. Um,
I got it. I'm gonna have to check that out, dude.
Fuck, dude, it's about like uh it's like far in the future space. Humans have like are just trying to find new planets to inhabit. And
Hmm.
while they're on different missions, they have like a whole like colony or team. And this dude Mickey Seven, he's an expendable, which they put on like missions or like do scientific
Yeah.
experiments. So he's a seventh clone, and he has to deal with him not actually dying and coming back, but they actually like made the next iteration Mickey 8, another
Dude.
clone. But they don't only them two know that. So
Dude, yeah, that sounds cool. That's very. We were talking about this a little bit over text, but that's like they took the concept of the movie Moon and like really fleshed it out, which is very exciting because Moon is kind of a mind fuck about like a very similar thing. It's an expendable kind of like it's interesting, and I don't want to say more to spoil Moon, but if you have read Mickey Seven and you like it, watch Moon, and if you've watched Moon and you like it, you
what's
should probably
Moon?
read
Is that
Mickey
movie?
Seven. It's a
Movie?
movie.
Oh, okay. I gotta put that on
It's
my
on HBO
list.
Max. It has Sam Rockwell in it.
Oh,
I don't know what year it came
I
out.
don't know who that is because I'm really bad with actor names.
Justin Hammer from Iron Man 2.
The guy who goes doesn't like Tony Stark, who's trying to steal his
Yes.
ideas. Oh
Yes.
shit! Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Why does that guy remind me of James Gunn?
I could see it weirdly.
Because he
I
has
think it's
glasses,
the
spiky
glass.
hair,
Yeah, the look. Yeah, the kind of
like
the look.
he's trying
Dude,
to dress young, but he's like 30s, mid 30s, mid 30s.
if you wanna really fuck your mind up, look up James Gunn in his 20s. He's a completely different person. I
Really?
saw a picture of him in his 20s and it like freaked me out almost because right now he has like white hair, white beard, and
Yeah.
like, dude, he looks so different. If I could find the specific picture I'm thinking of, it would blow your. Never mind. Um, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find the specific one. Dude, people forget that James Gunn directed Scooby-Doo 1 and 2, and that's a tragedy.
Oh fuck, I forgot that. Damn, dude.
Oh man, I'll find it, dude, and send it to you because it's like,
Dude,
I'll put it in the edit.
Daphne and Velma, dude, from those two movies. Oh, fuck, dude.
You don't understand. Don't get me started, or we're going another hour on this podcast, dude, because Sarah Michelle Gellar and Linda Cardellini have my heart forever, specifically in those two movies. Literally. Oh, you know another show you'd like, Jerry? Speaking of Velma, Freaks and Geeks.
Freaks and Geeks.
It's on Hulu.
Is that with Childish Gambino?
No, that's Community.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I thought.
Oh, Freaks and Geeks is a song by Childish Gambino.
Yeah, yeah. So I thought for some reason, because you know he has like that other show. What was that show?
Atlanta.
I thought he'd like make another show just like based off his like just called.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Fire song, by the way.
Yeah, fire album. But yeah, Freaks and Geeks is very much like a. It's like a seniors in high school sitcom, but like has some romance, but it's only one season. It's incredible, and they just never renewed it for some reason. But it's Jason Segel, Linda Cardellini, James Franco. Fuck. It's kind of stacked though.
Wait, when did they come out? Like way back?
90s.
Oh, because Jason Segel, Marshall from How I Met Your Mother.
Young Jason Segel, dude.
Damn.
And he's like, he has a very good character in that show.
Yeah.
Jason Segel. James Franco is kind of a dick. But like, I don't really like James Franco, so never mind. I won't go into it. I like Harry Osborn though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Respect for that.
I remember with James Franco, all I could know, I was like, he is Harry Osborn.
He is Harry Osborn. Yeah. I always see him as Harry Osborn.
Imagine if he came back. That'd be insane,
bro. Imagine he would have come back in No Way Home. I would have lost my marbles.
Fucking Sandman like beating the fuck out of Tobey Maguire. That's how wrong.
Dude, I cried at that part in that movie when I was younger. Yeah. And yesterday. But yeah. James Gunn when he's younger. I'm gonna put a photo in the edit as well. But yeah, dude. What else are you reading?
That's it. But I did I did pick up another book because I was like, oh fuck, this sounds cool. It's Hyperion by Dan Simmons Dan Simmons. I picked it up because it looked cool. And I read the book, like the back, and I went to the counters, and they did a Barnes and Noble dude, which I usually chat with like the Barnes and Noble cashier for a bit. I don't know, just make small talk. But he's like, "Oh, good book, like part of like a larger series." It came out like in the '80s. I was like, "Oh, '80s, really?"
Oh, dude. You know what? Like a weird, like not a guilty pleasure, but like a random little pleasure of mine is.
Mm-hmm.
Like something that I love that's incredibly niche. I feel like when you go to either like a bookstore, a record store, like something of that vein, and the person at the register knows a fuck ton about that subject. So like if you're at Barnes and Noble and they just have like this insane knowledge of books, and they're like, oh, like you like this, you should check out this, and they like start recommending. Or you go to a record store and they're like, oh, good album, like have you heard this? And then like. Or a movie store, I guess, like a DVD, and they're like, "Oh my god, yeah, did you see like this one?" I love that. Like, I think that's so cool. And I went to a record store the other day, and I fell in love with the woman at the register. Dude. She was like, that was unbelievable. Like, she knew so much about music, and I immediately like walked in and got so self-conscious about my music taste. I was like. Oh god, like I can't go up there with like some garbage. Like I gotta be like I gotta be on my A game. Like I gotta buy the best album I find in here. And then I was like shaking. Like I like got up there and I was like, here you go. She was like, oh, good album. And I was like, thank you so much. I gotta go. I was like, oh my god, thanks. I was like, it was like if you could think of like in a movie like the most attractive person in the world who would work at a record store, but like specifically like they cast that person to play register person at a record store. That's exactly what she looked like. Style impeccable, Like I was like, oh my god, I gotta get out of here because I'm gonna make a fool out of my. I'm gonna say something so stupid. Like, like get out of here. She's like, oh my, what's your favorite album? I'd be like, Hannah Montana the movie. I love it. It's all bangers, and then like run out of there.
I'd be like, you too, and just leave.
Yeah, dude, exactly.
Oh no, you too.
Yeah, you too, all of them.
You too would actually work.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy, but that is a guilty pleasure.
No, I feel it's like that meme, dude. That meme's so true. Like, girls be like, he needs a 6-figure income, needs to be like 6 feet tall, whatever. And like guys, they like see like a good looking cashier. That's all they need. Like,
Dude, it's just, I don't know why it's so nerve wracking to go out to a register when someone is hot. Like it's like you're just like,
no,
it's a simple. Like, you're just making a purchase.
I know.
You don't even have to do that much. You literally have to hand it to them and pay. But like immediately everything rushes to your head and you're like, oh man, like what do I say here? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Credit.
So shout
Credit.
out to her. Yeah. It's like, would you like a bag for that? I'm like, no, and I run away. Like, it's like pouring rain.
Little moments like
Yeah.
that. My plan for today, I actually had to, dude. Late March is always like so crazy because I've been so busy at work. But I have 3 birthdays. My brother, my little sister, and my mom. So I've gotten all the gifts, but I still need to like finish up my mom's gift. So like, I might ask you for advice after we close.
Dude,
this,
yeah,
like,
I'm so
what to
down.
get. Because you mentioned like getting that present for your mom. I was like, I need like a thoughtful present. So yeah, that's where
Yeah.
I'll be out. I've been just out like every weekend, just like I've been liking it. I've been like at Barnes and Noble, like cafes, and
Yeah.
just like shopping. I love shopping for other people, like gifts and stuff. So that's my plan for the day. How about you, sir?
Dude, my plan for the day is I have some like research to do for professor like later that like now whenever we get off and like kind of do that, bang that out. Then I'm seeing Creed 3 tonight.
That's right. I saw a
And
group
I
chat.
can't wait, dude. I've been waiting for weeks and I just like so much stuff's gotten in the way. And then probably like coming back and like you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna read and I'm gonna go to bed. And then to get started on that reading kick. And then tomorrow I'm probably gonna do like kind of what you're doing. Like I'm gonna like what you've been doing. I'm gonna like probably hop onto Barnes and Noble, like have a little me day. I'm gonna have a little me day tomorrow and just kind of do my thing. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
And journal. I'm gonna journal
And
tonight.
journal, dude. I'm gonna journal tonight, dude.
I'm gonna remember a journal. Like just like I think like one tip is just like I think I saw an interview with, like Matthew McConaughey, like like a short or something or a video. He was like, I don't know, it's just good to like capture your thoughts. Like just write anything. Like don't be afraid of making mistakes. Write like to-do lists. Write anything that comes to mind in journaling.
Yeah.
That really helps. Just like don't have a format. Just literally just like boom, write whatever you
Yeah,
want.
yeah.
And like that's
Yeah, I
really
gotta
helped
do
me.
that.
Because like especially like those like journals with formats like oh like these like you gotta like pose yourself questions and stuff and like really fill it out, be like very formal. That's like a recipe for disaster. But
100%. Because then now it's become like a homework or an exercise, and you're like,
yeah, like
I gotta
what
make the
the
perfect
heck?
answer. Just write.
Yeah. I guess one thing to end it off, like what the thing that always motivates me to do that is watching Avatar and The Martian. Cause you know they have like that one-to-one speaking to the camera logging
Yeah, yeah,
aspect.
yeah.
That I'm like, I gotta journal more and I wanna like vlog more and like really talk to the camera more.
Dude, I also to like really quickly add on to that, I think about that specifically a lot too, because I always think about like kind of like the legacy you leave. Like
Yeah.
and like that's like making like a journal or something like that, like it feels like I left something of myself, like even when I'm gone. That like is like will just exist like way past me, and I think there's something so cool about that, or like reading a journal from somebody's past. Like I think that's very cool.
I'm glad at least we have this podcast to like the main purpose of the podcast is not only just like talk about cool stuff and like entertain, but also just
Yeah,
like keep a document of like I don't know, just like a raw conversations, like uncut.
Exactly.
Because we always dabble in like what we're doing in our lives, and I don't know, it just keeps us level, dude. And like I like sometimes just re-listening to like an old episode and like like it brings back like so many memories, just like
Yeah,
picturing yourself going through the motions of like going through a podcast, and like it really just makes like neurons like click.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna listen to. I've been planning to listen to like just pick an old one that we did at Stonehill and just listen to it all the way
Yeah.
through because like I can't even imagine the nostalgia is gonna hit me.
Yeah,
Just like
dude,
remembering sitting in that room.
it's like one of the like I do that once in a while too, because like, dude, we were in college. We have a different like mind, not totally different, but changed mindset,
100%.
and we've grown. I'm like, wow, like we were youngins, dude. Like we were.
Yeah, like, and it's crazy. It wasn't even that long ago, but like we really were like so much like younger, like such a different look on life. I feel like when you're in still in college.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, dude. I don't know what to recommend here. Oh,
Oh,
I know what I'm gonna.
you've already recommended good stuff, the
Oh,
shows and
you're right.
stuff.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
recommend it, Freaks and Geeks. I want to really quickly also say to build to like put an end to what I was saying about like school and stuff. Shout out to teachers as a whole. Shout out to them. Very like when we were saying about like you have like as a parent or as an uncle or as a
Mhm.
older cousin or older sibling, you have so much to do with like the development of like the younger generation. The fucking teachers, dude, that they literally have everything to do with the development of the younger generation, and it's they have such an important job. And shout out to them for doing it because it's incredibly stressful at times and like there's so much pressure there and they come to work every day with a happy attitude and like just like ready to engage with so many kids that aren't even their kids and like I can't even imagine doing it. Shout out to them. Fucking pay them more, please. And um shout out to all the teachers who like were really cool to me back
Yeah.
then. I
That's a
want
good
to say
shout
that.
out. That's a good way to end it, dude.
Yeah.
That's a good shout
Nice. I
out.
really need I wanted to say it. I really wanted to like
Yeah.
I respect those teachers a lot. The teachers who like made a difference for me.
Mhm. Well, on
But
that
yeah.
note, on that happy note, we'll see you next week. Try.
And shout out to Jerry's really fucking sexy shirt. I forgot to say that too.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Fuck! Stop, dude.
Oh, that's the way to end it.
Peace.
Peace.